Aloha, Big Island. This is Wago with your Big Island update. Today is February 10th. Purpose of this channel is get you registered to vote. Make sure you go over here to Hawaiianggang.com, check out the pull down tab, and look how to vote for Andrew. It's the first tab up there. So easy. You could also go to vote411.org or vote.org. Sign up, make sure you register as a Democrat, and stay tuned to our channels for information about where your polling place is, where your precincts are, and what districts you're in. If you're interested in being a delegate, we have information in a link below. That means you'd be available May 23rd. 24th, go to Oahu, represent Andrew Yang as a delegate. Ygbi Arts today puts out a table, has buttons, a couple shirts, flyers, stuff like that, and people walking around holding signs, and everybody stopping and asking questions. The way I saw it was kind of controlled. A couple people hover around the table to make sure everybody's answers and all their stickers and every needs are met, and then a couple of people hover around with signs to attract people in, and then one or two people who are very, very familiar with the policies talk to people on the streets. It's a great video and example. Also shows little Japan in California. Pretty cool. Thanks, Ryan. Kai Watson breaks down why New Hampshire is different than Iowa, and honestly, there's a lot of key points in here, and he points out a lot of like the main points, like Iowa's a caucus. This is the beginning of the primary. Two, Andrew spent over 90-something visits here in New Hampshire, knows the people. Three, the media and the DNC seems to be either incompetent or criminal. Either way, the voice of the people will be heard, and those around there getting discouraged with everything that's happening. Please remember, it's not the policies, it's not Andrew Yang, it's the establishment. If you're upset at the way things feel right now, maybe it's because things aren't going well, and if you've already donated time, energy, and especially money, the idea is, what have you been doing? Are you out there giving people the joy and the empowerment of Andrew Yang and his policies? Yang Gang Street Team, moving on. Canvas Kickoff. It was only a few days old, the video, but it's really cool to watch the enthusiasm for a kickoff for the New Hampshire primaries, which are tomorrow. Moving on, Linsight. Yang has the best policies, ideas, and overall he has what it is to be president. This whole journey that we've been a part of was naturally, how Andrew says, not really by choice. He looked around and saw nobody else was asking questions that he was asking. And more importantly, it was just, you know, same old wine, brand new bottle kind of mentality. So what we're looking at now in the Yang Gang is keeping that code of conduct, being totally awesome on top of all things that are going on, so you could be informed, because the more data you have, the better decision you can make. Something that was interesting about the debate the other night was, you know, Andrew's mic is the only person's mic who's off, who you could hear him being turned on mid-sentence, meaning whenever he goes to interact in these debates, even though he hasn't really been aggressive, his mic's not even on. And I think that's a prime issue. A lot of people do. That's out there. So rather than getting excited and putting in comment sections of YouTube, take all that energy and go to yang2020.com and sign up to phone, bank, or text and talk to people that matter in New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina, Iowa. Be involved. Be informed. It turns out that the Clinton alumni were part in cahoots, whatever you call, for the Shadow app. They were part of the company. Long story short is the media is biased, and there's no data really that supports any of this. And when the people in New Hampshire vote, and it's not a caucus, it's an actual primary, I think the opinion and the popular sway might go to watching Andrew Yang for what he is about rather than what he's not about. Because having 6 to 8 minutes on stage generally is not really a way to get any concept or point across. Especially when you're on a debate stage and the white people steal the race question from the only person of color on the stage. This is America. Anyway, moving on. Shaving with Tully is no more. Arturo's moved on. He's got a new channel, same followers, same thing, but now the channel's called the Math Movement, which is fitting because he really likes to do a lot of math. It's a head scratcher. Anyways, today's video in the Math Movement with Arturo, he was dropping some knowledge and showing how the numbers don't lie. He used a simple comparison of minutes that everybody's had, took jars and filled them up equally with the same amount of colored grains for the amount of time that each speaker got. Of course, Warren, Bernie, Sanders, and even somewhat to an extent Biden were up higher and then significantly lower. Andrew's is a very, very small jar, and the reason being is what you're watching is a physical representation of talking time. And if you think the reason why you're getting frustrated is because of the campaign. It's not because of anything the campaign is doing. It's because of the establishment. So please reinvest your energy and time into getting the most data. The more information you have, the better decision you can make, which is why it brings me to my next set of videos, The Hill. If you haven't figured out, The Hill is a wonderful and reliable source. They have both sides on, very, progressive, but they've got independents like myself, Democrats and Republicans. And where we're at right now is The Hill is a logical way to go get source of information. They've got a couple videos. The one that I chose to put on here is the proof that in a 21st century economy that we all have technology, and then people physically went to go do a job, which normally, let's say, it acted different during the Carter and Reagan administration as it does now. So when you have so much data that's being compiled and the data differs from what's being given to you in the media, meaning the information we've been given people by the DNC and the media is conflicting with the actual data derived by the people who are the primary leads, the captains, chairs, people who even orchestrated it, that have a brain in their head and can count heads, can physically say that more delegates were given to other people for no reason, and that sometimes it still came down with the coin toss, which is done incorrectly, and or voting in a chicken bucket or with straws in a cup. This is the 21st century. The only person talking about these issues is Andrew Yang, and nobody seems to have an issue with it. I do believe it's time to call the system for what it is. So if you're going to take this energy and be angry and upset, as you very well should be, take that and get on phone banking, text banking. I've spent hours on text banking. I've spent hours on phone banking. And what I can tell you is the rewarding conversation you have with one person who had never heard about Andrew Yang that now has turned onto his ways and his ideas and his policies, they give you more empowerment to know one more person has been empowered by the concept of taking back our freedom, taking back our democracy, equally distributing what should have already been gained in taxes from people who are criminal. Not asking for any more, just what it is. Okay, people, moving on. So Think Harder Politics will be my last one of the day. The Q&A after they show Andrew speaking is at 22:50. The first question is, what do you think 50 years in the future will look like because of your administration? And I dig it. Andrew kind of went into the stump, but then he went back and he answered the question in a little bit more detail, redoing what the Trump administration has done, fixing things that are the most crucial and important, like climate change, or else all these other issues just fade away into the sand and the dust. So that concludes what I do today. You could go online to Twitter, Reddit, read yourself. I'm going to drop that portion from this because honestly, I don't follow Twitter or Reddit. I don't do Facebook. I will there, however, go there to grab topics that will fit in within these video descriptions. Other than that, this is almost like a Cliff Notes. If you dig what we're doing, like and subscribe, hit up Patreon, donate some money. It goes to getting swag and flyers so we can hand out at events. Also, go to Yang Near Me so you can see where an event is happening near you. If you haven't already, volunteer. It takes 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day. You really get connected with the policies and the program. You meet other people in the Yang Gang from all over the world, not even just America. You get involved with these policies. You start seeing them in your daily life. They act like a Venn diagram that helps you address the issues that you're dealing with, helps you reconstruct all this energy and angst and whatever you tend to put on that, whatever you feel, redirect that into phone banking, redirect that into texting. If nothing else, just go on Yang Prints and print yourself out some Yang flyers or business cards. Start handing them out to people. If you're Yang Gang, you'll get it. The conversations you have are interesting and fun. When people can get over the idea of scarcity versus abundance, people get over the idea that there are criminals out there, but what are you going to do? Real talks start to happen and generate. And as part of the Wave and the Yang Gang, you begin to understand how important this is, because what I've realized in my own personal sphere is if we don't address the problems here nationally and then focus on those on a local level, we won't have enough cohesion in the 21st century to keep up with the means which judge and guide our lives. Meaning, I don't know if anybody expected the Model T to take over all of the horse-drawn carriages within 10 years of the automation of the assembly line. But after that industrial revolution, there was a war. We're in an industrial revolution right now where AI is going to be taking most of the jobs that the bottom 73% can do anyways: call centers, transportations, work centers, housing, like care. So the idea is, if we don't address these issues now and prevent ourselves from being in a worse situation 4 years from now, regardless of the current administration, then the things that we've been working on will be all for naught. And from what I can tell, the best way to do that is to go donate to the Andrew Yang campaign right now. Andrew set a goal of $2 million. We're running short of $1 million right now. Every donation counts. I just got done doing a text banking stint. People got back to me and said they were disappointed at this, disappointed at that, angry at that. They're going to wait and see. And my encouraging words were, why don't you donate now and then decide tomorrow after New Hampshire primary? Because if we hit this goal and do quite well in the primary, as I'm hoping the media won't be able to black it out, the end result is win-win. You're still part of the Yang Gang. You never had doubting and faith, and it's still there. However, Yang Gang, big hugs. We will never turn down somebody who understands that the policies speak louder than the man. However, love Andrew Yang. He's awesome. More videos to come. Tune into this channel to get yourself registered to vote. You can go to Hawaiianggang.com. Anyways, have a wonderful day out there, and remember, aloha, big isle.